This is a fly that's easy to tie and it served me well. It's a great beginner dry fly because you got to get everything right, but none of it's all that hard. So I have my son tying them right now because he thinks he wants to tie flies, and so far he's done easy stuff, and now it's time to start doing dry flies. If you grow up doing dry flies, they're easy to tie, but coming to it from a different type of fly, like if you only tie streamers, this is a great one to start because it works. It makes you do everything right, but it doesn't have anything crazy to it. So we start by covering the hook shank with thread, and we're going to use moose body hair for the tails. And what I do is I'm going to kind of just peel them off like that, and I usually hand stack my moose. I'm looking for 3 to 5 nice pieces. By hand stack, what that means is you can see they're different lengths. I'll pull out the longer ones and then put the other ones with it, and then pull out the short ones, and now we have even tips. We're going to do the length of the hook shank. So to measure them, I kind of guess, hold it to the hook like that. So it's measured right to where these fingers are holding the material. When I switch hands, I'm still there. I clip, push down onto the hook, light wrap, bring it up, light wrap, draw it tight. Now we got our tails on. You always want to check that your tails are on top of the hook. I don't know if it makes a difference, but again, we're trying to do things correctly with this fly. So there's a lot of different ways you can do the body of a fly, dubbing I think being the most popular. But I'm going to use turkey, and I usually use turkey on this fly when I tie it. And it is a good skill to have. So here's a turkey tail, and I've got, let's see, probably about 1 too many pieces in there. But I'm going to clip it off the stem. You can also just rip it off. And I'm going to tie it in by the thin tips. Now, if you are clumsy with this material, you can see I'm going to soft wrap it on. If you're clumsy with this material, it'll break. And when it breaks, you lose what you've earned. So again, this is a great fly for learning how to tie flies and dry flies, because the little techniques that in this fly are relatively easy, you could use in more elaborate patterns. We're going to use fly tying dubbing wax to help those fibers stick to the thread, and then I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to very gently twist them around the thread. I think that wax helps hold it. Now we're going to wrap away from us, nice and even, one after the other. Most spinners have a dark body. This is a very generic pattern. It's easy to tie, which means, ghost in the room, which means that you can whip out a bunch of them and always have this fly ready. So what I've done is I've come up 2/3 of the way forward, and I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to leave these buggers out. Now we're going to take some grizzly dun. This is not the best batch of grizzly dun I've ever seen, but it's going to get the job done for us. Get one that's sort of just sorting out feathers here. Slightly oversized. This is a size 14 hook. In my head, I'm imagining a Hendrickson spinnerfall, but in a size 12, this is great for all those March Browns, Borchers Drakes, and in a 16, this works well for a mahogany, a sulfur, or for a real picky Hendrickson eater. So this is a bug of May, and then a bug of July for some of those size 16, 18 morning spinners we get in July, or I'm sorry, evening spinners we get in July. So I'm going to tie the hackle on, then I'm going to come forward, get that on the correct side there, with the turkey. And I'm not going to do the thread dubbing here because now we're down into the thick, strong part of the turkey. I'm just going to wrap it up, put it there, right by the eye, tie it in, clip it. Now all that's left is to make nice even wraps away from us, one in front of the other. You don't have to heavily hackle. If I'm going to sneak one more in there, I'm going to fold back what I've done so far and go again. Come up and put my thread right between the hackle I've wrapped and the hackle I haven't. Bring it down. See how I keep tension? I do a handoff there. Now I kept tension the whole way. My hackle's on there. Some people will break the hackle at this step, but I have lost flies because of that. Had them come apart. So, I don't know. Scissors seem to work. Now we're going to whip finish. Right on the head there. I trapped one fiber. Not a big deal. Clip that. Now, that's just really basic. I like to come in at this point, and this is what, so we call this fly a half round. What I'm going to do is put my scissors. One thing, my son pointed this out. He was having a tough time clipping individual fibers because he was starting too open with his scissors. You want to kind of narrow your scissors almost to where they're about to snap shut, and then bring them in, and that will help you clip very fine pieces. Besides having sharp scissors, that even sharp scissors will kind of move the material if it's just one or two fibers. If you start from here and try to snip it, it'll move it out of the way. So especially if you're watching this and you're a younger tyer, try to narrow your scissors down to where they're going to be, then push the material into that little gap and snip it. All right, so examination time. Looks pretty good. That's called the half round spinner. I just wanted to do something that's easy. It's been working on the ensemble for 20 years or more. It's going to keep working. And the advantage here is you can make a bunch of them just one night at a time, and you're kind of set for May evenings. You have one big piece of the puzzle out of the way. All right, have fun time.